Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to talk about yet another game that has been getting a little bit of a negative reception based on some of its DLC that's been released. Now, this is a game that came out last year in City Skylines 2. It actually came out to a relatively mixed reception when it initially came out back in October of 2023. I didn't play City Skylines 2 myself after the negative reception. It came out in October of 2023, and there was a bunch of other games coming out around the same time. I think I did download the game via Game Pass and messed around with it, but not, like, nearly enough time for me to really give you guys an opinion of it. And obviously, again, it came out back in October of 23, and you're talking about, like, towards the end of that month, you had Spider-Man 2 come out, Alan Wake 2 come out, Ghost Runner 2 come out, and probably other games that I'm forgetting right now. But it was like a pretty packed month of game release, and City Skylines 2 was a game that, you know, wasn't going to be something that I was going to get into right away, but also, right out the gate, it had a lot of issues, particularly from a performance standpoint, and it was actually one of those games that I don't know if I should be giving credit to Paradox and Colossal Order for this, or if it's just an indictment on the gaming industry that I almost want to give them credit for this, but ahead of the game's release, they initially came out with a statement being like, hey, this game currently has performance issues, we're working on it, we're gonna patch it, the performance is gonna get better and better. It was actually initially scheduled to come out on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series, but those versions of the game were delayed, I imagine, because of the performance issues, but the PC version came out, and essentially they got ahead of the game's release and put out this statement. I kind of have to give that credit, at least a little bit, a modicum of credit, because what is the standard practice in gaming today? Dragon's Dogma 2, Last of Us Part 1, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and I can go on with some of the other games that have come out recently. Forspoken, you know, it's just an absurd amount of games where they'll be a little bit quiet about how the PC performance is, and then the game will come out, people realize that it's an abomination, and then they put out a statement a day, 12 hours, 36 hours after the game officially drops. With City Skylines 2, they actually got ahead of the train wreck and put out a statement so people knew. The game was also available on Xbox Game Pass, which I guess some people want to take that as a way to absolve the game from, you know, from its issues. Guys, that's not how this game is played. Game Pass you still pay for. They get paid for offering their game on Game Pass, and at the end of the day, the game was sold on Steam for $50. But that's all the elements leading into and the actual release of the game. Now, City Skylines 2, a few months after its initial release, has had its first paid DLC be released. And let's just say, it ain't being received all too well. The Beach Properties DLC set, which is available right now, and it is available for $9.99. Again, I do believe it's the first paid DLC. There was the Deluxe Relax Station that was released as well, but this came out on March the 25th, and it was released at $9.99, and currently, this piece of DLC, 615 Steam user reviews, overwhelmingly negative reception. And what is the percentage that is positive? You know, is it 10%? Is it 20%? No, it's 4%. 4% of the reviews for this DLC is positive. And let's just read some of these reviews. Again, I can't speak on this myself because City Skylines 2 came at a time where, you know, we all knew that the game was gonna kind of be a disaster based on the statement being put out ahead of release, and then on top of that, it was just coming out at a time where there were so many games coming out. The most recent review, cash grab, 30 assets means 10 assets and 3 variations each. Thanks for nothing. What an outrageous display. With an Ultimate Edition, you unfortunately have no choice but to have to put up with this. How low can we go? And I thought EA ripped people off with their DLC for The Sims. Without mods, game crashes. With mod, game crashes. Deliver the minimum in terms of content. Deliver the minimum in terms of crash to desktop fixing. A slap in the face for those that supported with the Ultimate Edition and waited through all the delays. No! One of the reviews is just no. Amount of content included in this pack is lacking even when compared to DLCs for other Paradox games. I want beaches, not just a few beachy looking houses. The DLC isn't worth $1. If the game is a burger menu, this is just the seeds for the bun. Bland, sad, should have been there with the whole order. I wish they would focus on the aspects of the game that players mildly Dislike. Terrible DLC. I regret purchasing the Ultimate Edition. Paradox has thrown away all of the goodwill I had left for it. Unfortunately, Paradox at a time I feel like was a publisher that had a really great amount of goodwill, and I always say in gaming, goodwill is something that is very hard to get, but it is so easy to burn away. You just need one bad outing, one bad release that is a complete disaster, coupled with maybe another thing here or there, as far as doing things the consumer doesn't like, and your goodwill suddenly evaporates very quickly. Need I point to a Capcom who did all their nonsense with DRM recently, and then Dragon's Dogma 2 also came out, and I'm not saying all of their goodwill is gone, but a lot of their goodwill, given that they were literally being revered in 2023 as one of, if not the best publisher in all of gaming. Do people really view them as the best publisher in all of gaming now? Not right now. But at the same time, gaming also is a what have you done for me lately kind of deal. So, a lot of the times when these publishers or developers, they start destroying the goodwill for consumers, it's very rare where they actually turn around and do a lot of great things for the consumer. Capcom, I think for a while, was a publisher that was viewed as, not the best publisher in the world. And then after a while, they just started putting out banger after banger. I want to say it started with like Biohazard in 2017, and then their goodwill was restored. But I feel like that's very rare. Usually when you start slipping, you just continue and continually slip. You look at a BioWare and EA in totality, but BioWare especially, they've just been slipping and slipping. You look at it, Ubisoft again. Ubisoft will have good outings here and there, but a lot of their goodwill has been destroyed. They're still making money hand over fist, but we'll see. Again, with a game like City Skylines 2, it is so dependent on updates and just getting the game into a state where I feel like people will find it compelling, but releasing $9.99 Beach Properties DLC that people aren't going to really get down with, yeah, that's obviously not a good way to restore goodwill. Right now, overall, the game is sitting at 36,200 reviews. 55% of those reviews are positive, with the recent reviews being 2,106 reviews, and 30% of those reviews are positive. And most of the recent reviews, again, are crapping on the game, holding out on content so they can drain us of our money with DLC. The scheme is so played out nowadays, which, yes, it is. This is a game where the Ultimate Edition, by the way, was not $60, it wasn't $70, given that the game was $50, it wasn't $80, it was $90. So yes, you had to pay $90 for this Ultimate Edition. They do also sell the expansion pass, which is $49.99, and there is some content available for pre-order as a part of that. A lot of that is rolling out later this year, so keep that in mind. The Beach Properties was the first set of content that rolled out with the Deluxe Edition. I believe there was a San Francisco set that dropped day one with the game. But yeah, this was the first major piece of content with the expansion pass, or the Ultimate Edition if you did buy it. And overwhelmingly getting panned. I really feel like they need a course correct with this, because while I haven't played City Skylines 2, City Skylines 1 was legit a really well done game. From what I know of city builders, it's not really my genre to have an in-depth analysis on, but what I played of City Skylines, like, I had a good time with it. I'm not going to get into it, into the weeds as a lot of other people do, and if you get super into City Skylines, city builders, and games like this, more power to you. I know people that sink hundreds upon hundreds, even thousands of hours in these games, and if you get that type of playtime and enjoyment out of a singular game based on, additional content and so on and so forth, more power to you. I wish I could find a game like that, but with how my channel's designed and being a content creator, kind of have to jump between all the new games and be up to date with everything. But nonetheless, for the people that are enjoying games like this, more power to you, and that's great. I think a lot of people were hoping to find that in City Skylines 2, and obviously that has not yet been the case, so it is what it is. They also have a dev diary up for Beach Properties, which, is on the Steam page, and it's not an in-depth post. I mean, they go kind of nuanced about it, so that'll do it for me. Again, unfortunate state for City Skylines 2. This is one of the worst received pieces of content. I can't say game since, overall City Skylines 2's reception, it's not like it's that bad, but 4%, and I say not that bad because mixed reception all time really isn't that bad. Like, we've seen games with overwhelmingly negative, but as far as Beach Properties goes, 4% positive, which it's like, Paradox, get your act together and try to rebuild some of that goodwill that you had, because you did have quite a bit of it for a while. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always, sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.